Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 2024 Lamley Awards. On this blustery, wintry November day, I'm in the backyard. Don't know why I'm here. I like the light. So I'm here. I've got all 15 Hot Wheels Super Treasure Hunts from 2024, and we're going to open them all up today. I've been saving them as we've gone throughout the year. Mattel sends them. I pulled some from cases. This is why Mattel sends them, so I can open them up at the end of the year. So I like to show them in the card, and then we get to this point, and it's a nice wintry, blustery day. Tons of leaves on the ground. But we're here to open some Super Treasure Hunts. So if the wind picks one of these up and it ruins the card, that's okay. It's the model I'm worried about. In the background, I have the cases. We'll go ahead and put them in the cases when we're done, but we're going to open these up one by one and put them on the turntable so you can have a look at them. And then you go down below into the description of the video. I'll also put it in the comment section. There is a link to a poll to vote on the best Super Treasure Hunt of 2024. Your criteria is your criteria, whether it's your favorite casting, whether you like the way this Super Treasure Hunt was upgraded from its regular, you name it. Whatever is your reasoning to why you think this is the best, one of these is the best Super Treasure Hunt, you can leave it in the comments. I want to know why, but you have to vote. It's your vote that is going to count as we go. So we're not doing worse this year. Worst was never interesting. I always thought it would be, but ultimately people it's going to be the Solero GT. We know that because it's the generic, it's the non-licensed. Lamley, people who watch Lamley tend to go for licensing stuff. So I'm ditching that this year. It's anticlimactic. I don't think it's that interesting anymore, but this one, when we have all the criteria for people to pick their best, I think it's more interesting. So that's what we're going to do. Let's start and let's get right to it. All right, they are in order. We will just go as we go, and we start from the A case, the Ford Escort RS 2000. I've noticed that a lot of these were new models last year. We'll try and they're in 2023, and we're noticing that trend, new models from this year being Supers next year, as we're moving into 2025. But this one was very cool. Like I said, we'll open it up, put it on the turntable so you can have a look in the background of the of what the basic look like. Let's hope that blister doesn't blow away. If you're not, if you're watching this video, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with Super Treasure Hunts. Hot Wheels does 15 mixes a year, releases them give or take every 3 to 4 weeks to stretch out for the year, over the year's time. They always take a model from that mix and create an upgraded version. They put Real Rider tires on it. They move it into a Spectre Flame color. They might add some additional deco. They might not. In this particular case, they didn't. Oh, and they always put a TH. They put this Super Treasure Hunt logo or this Treasure Hunt logo on the back of the card. That's the only thing outside of the artwork. Kind of an if you know kind of thing for collectors. Different than the regular Treasure Hunts, which they'll mark when someone opens them. That's kind of for newer collectors, I guess. And they'll put a TH somewhere on the car. In this case, way in the back. Very tiny on the back bumper. This was a light green. Very plain. I always say plain. I don't mean it in a negative way. I mean it in a kind of, clean is by far the better word, but I tend to say plain. Don't know why. But, kind of a realistic color. This is obviously the RS 2000 Escort. It's definitely a race car, but this version with Trans Am style rims is very cool, and Spectre Flame green. Nice, clean Super Treasure Hunt. So we're going to put that off to the side, and let's hope all things go well. Next one in the B case. Can show you in the back. Usually says right there, that's the B case on US cards. I have a couple of international cards here too. This is the 2018 Camaro SS, not a new model last year. Black was the regular version. The Super Treasure Hunt is, I guess you'd call it, they might call it Metal Flake, or I'm sorry, Spectre Flame Black. Looks more like a gunmetal. TH logo on the back panel there. Love that they use the 5-spoke Real Riders. It really works well on this Super Treasure Hunt. The black and the white doesn't translate as well to Super Treasure Hunts. Doesn't mean that they're not super cool, especially with the Real Riders, and this one really benefits from the Real Rider tires on it and the low profile tires as well. I think that one is Very cool. That might be your vote. Especially, it used to be that Camaros, you get 2 or 3 Camaros Super Treasure Hunts every year. Obviously, that's not the case anymore. I think that might be our only Camaro. So, one European car with the Escort. Then we go American. And then we go European again with the classic BMW 507. Yellow was the regular version. This one from the C-Case. Yellow, Spectre Flame Yellow is essentially gold. And I always like these. We see a couple of these that go gold every year, and I think they're really, really nice. They obviously pop. You don't miss these in the when you see them on the pegs or in a case if you're lucky enough to come across one of these. I didn't find this. I found a few of the later Super Treasure Hunts. I'll let you know those ones I do. I tend to document it when I do. But this one, yeah, this one stands out if you find it. Real Riders, Steely's on this one. Kind of a classic Real Rider. It's been around for a little bit of time. And I really like that one, especially, yeah, it's got more of a road rally style, like almost like a sticker was put on it, and the TH for road rally, and the TH is there on the sticker. That's a nice one. The BMW, classic BMW fans might dig it. All right. I usually unveil my choice for best super or best new model of the year as we do the results. But I've made it very clear my choice since the second we found out about this one, and it was when I did a sneak peek on this one. It is the 89 Mercedes-Benz 560 SEC AMG. It was my model of the year last year. It was my favorite new model from Hot Wheels last year. And then they made it a Super Treasure Hunt in red in a cool 80s style. They made the rims red, and I said, let's not beat around the bush here. This is the best Super Treasure Hunt, or I should say my favorite Super Treasure Hunt, my choice for best Super Treasure Hunt of the year. I hope that doesn't influence anyone. It shouldn't. You guys all have your own opinion, but nothing surpassed it, even as others were unveiled, and there's some really good supers. This will be a tight competition. But this one could not be beat. I just said it right out of the gate, and I continue to have this opinion in the Spectre Flame Red. Spectre Flame Red supers are great. Mercedes are great. This casting is an all-timer for me. It instantly became a top 5, and then in black and silver last year, and then we get this red version with the 5-spoke. It's just got an 80s vibe. The red rims really give it an 80s vibe that just fits. TH logo is hidden on the back. This is one of the quote-unquote plain supers again. Kind of a funny name for that, but I love this casting. I love the execution on the Super Treasure Hunt. It's my Super Treasure Hunt of the year, and it might be yours. That was from the D case. This is from the E case. It is the Fiat 500D Modificato. Started as a premium, moved to basic, I think, this year as a Super Treasure Hunt. So we've seen that. Obviously, the Mercedes was a new model last year. So the Fiat wasn't a new model, but it's new to premium. And we see this happen too. Or I'm sorry, new to basic as well. This is one of the yellows that turns gold as a Super Treasure Hunt. The tiny 4-spokes. Love the racing livery on this one. TH is included in the racing livery on the sides. Obviously, the Italian colors. I don't think it's a stretch to say this probably won't win Best Super of the Year just because it doesn't generate the excitement that maybe other castings do. But in terms of execution, this is a fantastic Super, and I hope we can all acknowledge that. There's a lot of wind. Just holding down the cars while that gust passes. All right, let's keep going. This is the F case Super Treasure Hunt. This one feels old school to me. Going back to American Muscle. So let's see, Euro, American, Euro, Euro, Euro. Heavy on the Euro in this mix of Super Treasure Hunts. But this is classic. 71 El Camino, a casting that I think debuted in maybe the original Modern Classics or Premium, something like that. And this is not the first time it's been a Super Treasure Hunt either, I don't think. I think this has been a Super Treasure Hunt before. So this is like, this and the Silverado are kind of throwbacks to me in terms of classic American Muscle or American cars Super Treasure Hunts like they used to be. This one is obviously in purple. Spectre Flame purple is fantastic. Always looks cool. And this one, just every element. It's got, you know, unique striping that kind of screams muscle car. It's got the 5-spokes, which are fantastic muscle Real Riders. It's a low slung El Camino. It just looks mean. It is mean. It's total muscle mania, even though that's not the mix it came from, but that doesn't matter. It's just a fantastic Super Treasure Hunt. Just absolute throwback to those old classics, and definitely deserves its space as a super treasure hunt. Moving on, another new model from the year before. That was a super treasure hunt in 2024. It is the Audi 90 Quattro. This one's awesome. In fact, this one, if upgrade is your thing, like from the basic, just the wheels themselves were a fantastic upgrade in this super treasure hunt. I hope it goes premium soon. So let's open it up. Obviously, we got the iconic racing livery last year. I think this is based on an Audi racing livery. It's, you know, roughly based, an homage, but those Aero-style Real Riders with the gold trim, just fantastic. Just fantastic. The Spectraflame blue really just looks more like a deep dark blue, maybe in this, maybe it does in this overcast weather. But this one is just rad. Just a fantastic, fantastic model. And I think a contender for Super of the Year, to be sure. All right, there's the wind, whirlwinding about. I'm gonna put these blisters on the ground, let them move, and I'm gonna put this over here, and we are going to move on to the Volvo. Another new model the year before, also a Legends winner, now becomes a Super Treasure Hunt. This is another one that, in terms of upgrade from the basic was kind of a matte blue. I'm gonna figure out if I can, I hope I can continue this video. Matte blue to a Spectraflame turquoise with pink trim. Okay, I will say this, and I'm just gonna, I try not to give too much away. I've obviously, you guys know what my Super Treasure of the Year is, but let me tell you this. In any other year, this one would get some serious consideration from me. I'm not keen on the casting. I love the Volvo P1800. I'll go ahead and open this up. The actual car, Matchbox did a nice version of it. And this one obviously was a Legends winner and deserves to be a casting, but I'm not keen on this casting. I am keen on the Super Treasure Hunt because because it is a full upgrade. It looks so different than the actual basic model, and legitimately I would consider it for Super of the Year, just based on the fact that the upgrades are so unique versus the basic model. It just looks so much better that I would have considered it. But I already got the Mercedes, but that might be your reasoning, and you might like that. The Volvo, I think it's just a really well executed Super Treasure Hunt. Mitsubishi Pajero Evolution, another new model from the year before. J-Case. Real Riders, old school, almost wheel wagon Real Riders, we have tended to call them. And what was it? This one was more of a harder one. Well, the rims were white on the basic, so you knew what you were going to see. I actually found this one in a dump bin in a rural supermarket, and it was pretty obvious. The color, if you're looking at it, you know, from the nose, it might be hard to figure out, but then once you pull it out, you knew what you were looking at. You had the Super Treasure Hunt in these wagon wheel wheels. Not my favorite, but very cool casting, and nice to see it as a Super Treasure Hunt. Moving on. This one, I think, will be a contender for Super of the Year. It is the Mazda 787B. It's a casting that moved from premium to basic. Instantly beloved because of the legendary race car that the 787B is. And then Hot Wheels said, why not do it as an homage to the Le Mans winner, as not only a basic model in the classic green and orange, but then like they've done with Golf and some other iconic racing liveries, Advan. Let's turn it into a Super Treasure Hunt, and that is what they did. I actually pulled this one from an A&J International case. There it is. What was that? That's the, see, it is an international case. What was this? K case, I believe. And what a cool Super Treasure Hunt it is. Spectraflame orange with the green trim. Obviously, it would have been nice to get more detailing on the top, but just the fact that this is a Super Treasure Hunt in the 787B livery is just fantastic, and just that alone makes this a strong contender for Super Treasure Hunt of the Year. So we will go ahead and put that one aside, and if that's the one you want to vote for it. Here's another one that might be a contender. Found this one at a Dollar Tree. Also pulled one from an unboxing. I got lucky with this casting. It is the 77 Firebird, Pontiac Firebird TA. I think it was released the same time the El Camino was released way back when. in modern classics, the first modern classics from the like 2008, 2009. This one gets the Rising Phoenix, the classic Trans Am look, kind of a Cannonball Run look, but as a with this really cool red trim. This one is another one that is just a beautifully executed super treasure hunt, because the one was in black, right? The basic's in black with black rims. This one gets these gold spokes with the red trim. Like the Audi, just an amazing wheel upgrade, not just to real riders, but to a totally new look. Tan interior works perfectly. The gold trim, this thing, execution-wise, like the Volvo, is way up there for me. And I think this one's going to get a fair amount of votes. So, yeah, where are we at now? Euro, American, Euro, 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 American, Euro, Euro, Japanese. That's the first Japanese. Only one of, well, and then obviously this one. So 3 Japanese, which I think is, we were going heavy Japanese for a while. American, total muscle, right? That's nice to see that kind of muscle. Let's get back to it. All right, the other Japanese car, heavy wind. 96 Nissan 180SX Type X. Finally, this is a super treasure hunt and another beloved model. It has moved to premium, but one of my favorite first editions of all time. Let that calm down. I love doing this. Light blue was the regular on this one with the lace wheels. This one gets a very nice upgrade in dark blue with the white 6 spokes, right? 6 spokes, real riders. I'm going to be looking for blisters all over my backyard. This thing's rad. The sleepy headlights, the full detailing on the top and bottom, just like lost the card too. It was beautifully executed as a basic. It's beautifully executed as a super. It is a favorite casting for a lot of people on those JDM vibes with this casting. Japanese car vibes, classic Japanese car vibes will give it a lot of votes, and it will deserve it. So that will be up there, I am sure, for a lot of folks. Let's get to the last 3. This one is Solero GT is a rad casting. Beautifully executed super treasure hunt, but it was going to be worst. And I'm ditching the worst and most disappointing this year for all of the polls, because it never went how I had hoped. I always did most disappointing with new models because I wanted people to vote on the model they were most excited for, and then it didn't come through. But they always voted for some, like the tuned car or something that it never tells you anything. So we just vote for best this year. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep it that way. And this one, doesn't. I want licensed super treasure hunts myself. That's what I collect. But this is a very cool, well executed model. Unique last year because it introduced the new lace wheels that they made for supercars, and now it looks really cool as a super treasure hunt. Spectre Flame Purple's beautiful. The mismatched wheels are cool with the 10 spokes and the white. Aero style, the TH on the side. It's a nice executed model, but yes, it would be the worst because it's not licensed, and it was the only one this year that wasn't licensed. This one might be the best. Another one that's going to get a lot of consideration is the Lamborghini Huracan LP620-2 Super Trofeo. Really good new model several years ago. We've gotten several Lamborghini super treasure hunts, and this is another one. Spectre Flame Red, mismatched wheels. Found this one at Target. My first super find at Target in a long time. And they put that standard livery on it, which is great. That that comes with the Super Trofeo, and on the side, so it looks right. A little plain on top, but it's got the trim on the hood. It's got the headlights, the tail lights that doesn't have, but it looks good in the Spectre Flame Red, especially with the mismatched wheels. I'm really digging this one. Just a beautifully executed super treasure hunt. And we finish off with an all-timer, a classic casting that has been a favorite for collectors for years. And when the Datsun wagon becomes a super last year, when we get a 67 Camaro super, occasionally a cool combi super, Hot Wheels hits the classics. Look, there's that 510 wagon right there. Hot Wheels hits the classics. They did this year with the QK Super Treasure Hunt. It is the 83 Chevy Silverado, and collectors love this casting. I, among them, love this casting. They made a nice clean version. Second time it's been a super treasure hunt. There was the gold one from several years ago, I think over 10 years ago, or maybe around 10 years ago. And now we get this beauty Inspector Flame Blue. Let's open it up. You got the 5 spokes, you got everything. This is nice. I'm going to move the cards off to the side because we're going to be opening up the blister, or opening up these cases here in a second. But here it is, the square body in all its glory. In some ways, it's the way a kid would draw a car. In other ways, it's just a very, very nice casting. You get the 5 spokes, which are always great on American cars, American vehicles. Nice, clean deco. You know, Hot Wheels deco. This isn't old school. This, like the El Camino, really feels like an old school super treasure hunt. Like, this could have been a super treasure hunt 10, 15 years ago, and we wouldn't have blinked. And it's just so well done. And a casting like this will always be a strong contender for super treasure hunt of the year. All right. What do I have here? I have 2 cases. Let me move the camera up. This is what you're looking at. Now, I always keep I keep the super treasure hunts together in my collection in order of their release. So if you're looking at this one, you can see, where did this one start? Last year it was the Batmobile. It worked through all the way to the Volvo. I think the winner last year, I have to remember, the Supra was a contender. I think the Datsun 510 ended up winning. This was not a strong year, all things considered. I mean, looking back on it, the Supra was a good one. The Porsche was a good one. I mean, they were all nice. This was a really well executed Super. But I always keep the Super, and then I keep the basics opposite them in these cases. So I have this last one out from last year because, obviously, when I ended with the Volvo Q Case 2023, we start with the Escort 2024. So we've got to continue there, and then we'll move over. I've already got the basics from 2024 here, lined up in the opposite direction. So we'll do those opposite. You already obviously saw those on the turntable. So we'll go ahead and add these right now and hope they don't blow away in the wind. So we've got the Escort, green, Camaro. Here, let me move that down. There we go. BMW, Mercedes, Fiat. That case is complete, ready to be put away. And then we start this case, which obviously starts with mid-2024 and will continue on to 2025. Move the camera up this way, and we start, El Camino, Audi, Volvo, Mitsubishi Pajero, 7.8, no wait. Did I do this wrong? Did I go around? I think I did. Maybe I have this wrong. Maybe it's the 787B. I have that opposite, so I got it here. Let's do this right. I'm gonna do this, I gotta do it right. All right. 787B, Firebird, 180SX, Solero GT, Lamborghini, and Silverado. I'll need to put one of my Dayton diecast dividers in there once I do that. That's Dayton Diecast if you want those. DaytonDiecast.com. You can order those dividers. They're nice. There you go. This was all things considered a great year. I mean, much better than last year. I mean, if I'm looking even, I mean, I only have a sliver of the year before that. We had some good ones there. I think all things considered, this was a great year. And I mean, we had some classics with the Silverado. We had just beautifully executed race cars with the Audi and the 787B. One of the best castings ever. I mean, just, you got a lot of American, 3 Japanese, and a lot of Euro. I think that's a nice mix. You guys tell me what you think, but most importantly, go down to that link below and vote. there it is, the Super Treasure Hunts. This kicks off, I always kick off the Lamley Awards with Super Treasure Hunts. Then we move to new models for Hot Wheels, premium and basic. And then we got other brands, Mini GT, Tarmac Works. And then we will end towards the end of the year with the big one, the big 64 car tournament, the Model of the Year tournament that we do. All brands going against each other. Last year, Kaido House won. The year before that, Hot Wheels won with the Liberty Walk R34. Let's see what it is this year. Thanks, everybody. Go vote. Bye.